Yeah. So this is the best 2 weeks of my year. I think Christine agrees.
Hey, you girls ready? You guys ready? Okay. Let me.
Fair.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hear the volume? Yes?
We should just start at the chorus.
You guys want to start?
She became a
Great job. Woohoo.
Bravo.
How did you feel? How did you feel?
Good. I got really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great job.
And it's true, people, sometimes people, when we're performing, or when I'm performing, sometimes people will come up and they'll be right in front of me. Just enjoying. And I'm like, that's very nice, but guy, you're very close.
No, he did like.
Yeah, especially little kids. Like if there's little kids that come to shows, they'll come up like that, and they'll be like looking at the people's instruments, and they'll be looking
Are they
like
even
this
allowed
close.
to do that?
We can't do anything about it.
Where's the security at? Well, I'm sure the security, but no one can like, oh my.
But if they're just standing there, they're not doing anything. You can't really do anything. So if somebody's like standing really, really close, you just gotta
You can just do this.
keep going.
Just don't look.
I'm
Just
one
don't
of the
look at
band coaches. It's my first year being a band coach or being involved with Hugh Rock, and it's been really fun. My sole purpose, I guess, is leading the girls through what it's like to be in a band. So I help them as they're in the instruction, learning their songs, helping them write it, learn what it's like to work together in a band with new people, because every year they're paired with a new group, so it's never the same girls and like all the same girls in one group or in one band. And I help them come up with like their logo, which they did most of it. They chose everything, and I just kind of helped them put the pieces together.
So in 2012, a friend of ours from El Paso named Esme Barrera was murdered in Austin. And in 2019, we had a celebration of life concert for her in Austin. And we were going to raise money for Girls Rock Camp in Austin because she was a volunteer there. After we raised the money, we had a great show. And after we raised that money, some of her friends and her family asked if we would bring that money home to El Paso and start something here, similar to a girls' rock camp. That's kind of where the idea started, and it took a couple of years, and COVID, etc., sort of guided us through to 2022. I think was our first year. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2023 is our first year, and we kicked off that year with I think 20 plus girls, ages 9 to 17. And the idea was simple. We give these girls an opportunity to come and start learning an instrument, to form a band with their peers, to write an original song, and then to perform that song live to their friends and family 15 days later. So this all happens within 2 weeks. And this was our 4th year, and we've been 100% successful on that happening. Every kid has played every song, every year, every show. And the main point of the camp isn't to be a rock star or to dream of being rich and famous. The idea is to build community here. Rock and roll is such a boys' club, and it's hard for girls to get into it. And I've been privileged with this life and fortunate to see the world and to make records and to have a whole career you know, and I don't know if I was a girl, if I would have had that opportunity in the 90s. It was hard to get into it.
At the keys, but then you're like looking up and around, you're missing this, right? And it's the same idea, right? Game day, that's where we're all right? We need to have that same mentality. Even when you're playing keys, in fact, this should probably be more helpful, right? Because you have something to hold on to that can be kind of like a guide. Don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah, it's also something to account.
Yes.
Like, can this be lower?
Can it be lower?
My name is Abeni Janae. I'm a singer-songwriter, keyboardist, composer, producer, and I'm also a professor at UTEP in the music department. Here for the U-Rock camp, I was the vocal instructor for this year. And what I did in the morning is I'll work with specifically the singers of each of the bands in the morning alongside the vocal coach Jordan Taylor, and we get them warmed up as well as helping them with their songs through the warm-ups and through practical vocal techniques and methods. And my day in, day out here at the camp has been that in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I stay in Little Temple and I watch all the bands practice how they're gonna perform on the stage here. And I give everyone in the band tips on what they should do. I'll have them repeat the song over and over. And one of the other things that I like to do that's been really fun is that I'll have them practice the song in the performance mode, but I'll say like, what happens if things go wrong? You all of a sudden can't hear, so I'll turn down their amps, so I'll turn off the mics, I'll like start screaming and yelling to get them recognizing like, oh, when things are going wrong, the show still goes on. So. I have been a part of this camp ever since it first started 4 years ago in 2023. I was reached out to be a part of it as kind of a vocal as well as keyboard instructor. So I was there in our beginning stages, and from the first year to now, every year has been a great year, and it's gotten better in terms of just our structure, our flow, and especially the students. It's always really rewarding to see the kids, and it's really inspiring as well. And to have someone like Jim Ward and Christine to be able to facilitate a space like this, not only for the kids, but for us as adults to be mentors. You know, this is something I wish I had when I was a kid. So to be able to give back to our community by giving these kids something that will be, I think, a lifetime valuable lesson and experience for them.
Jenna Ivey. You can find me on Instagram at Jenna C. Ivey, JennaCivey, and on all social media platforms you can find me under that handle. Yeah, so right now we're at a girls' camp for music. So these girls are going to be getting ready to play an original song that they just wrote and composed together. So I'm super excited to hear it, and that's why you might hear some noise and chaos in the background. I think it is such a privilege to be able to use the skills that I have in music to share it with young people like this, and to try and offer advice and encouragement that I would have wanted when I was younger, I think it's such a privilege. So it's really neat to see the way, like, for example, with mouth trumpet, right? People aren't very familiar with what that sounds like, what that looks like, and to be able to use it in a song and show them that song and then also teach them how to do it for themselves. I immediately started hearing all of them start trying it, and it just sounded like a bunch of bees going around buzzing, and anyway, it made me really happy to show people you can be excited about music. It doesn't have to always feel like a chore. It's supposed to feel really wonderful and a way to connect, so.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You want to start, all right?
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was really good. The beginning, we need to get you two to lock in a little bit more at the beginning, because when you guys had that interlude after the first chorus, it was more locked in. So I think we just need to work on the intro first before everyone comes in. I like the intro where you come in with that more ride cymbal and then going to the hi-hat. There's a lot of cool dynamic stuff happening, and it's coming together really nicely.
So I think for me, looking at our community and our culture and our both our El Paso community and the music community in general, to see the lack of women representation, how do we change that? And I think we change it from the inside, and we change it when they're young. So we talk about three things at camp. We talk about creativity, we talk about confidence, and we talk about community. Those are the things that we wrap our camp around. And that's what we try and instill in these girls.
Stephanie Gutierrez. I am the camp counselor here at the UROC camp. So what I usually do is I just make sure that the girls get to their destinations, to where they need to go. I take care of all the logistics of the camp, you know, the scheduling, the rotations, and then of course ensuring that the girls are having a good experience in anything that they're doing with the camp. So this camp has just basically been a great way to reach out to the community and to involve girls into making music. Any of them that are musicians or they are wannabe aspiring musicians, it's a great way to bring females together and to have them all share the same aspiration and dreams within the camp. So we've been doing this camp for 4 years. I've been involved for the past 3 years, and I've enjoyed every single year of it. And every year, you know, I think the camp gets bigger and it gets better. The exposure is, you know, our biggest focus is empowering young ladies to become musicians, take part in writing music, creating music, working together, collaborating. And if any of them ever have any issues with them, those things, that's where I come in and help. So it's a great camp. It's great for the community, and we look forward every year to getting it going.
If my remembering that, knowing when you have to start clapping, and all that other stuff. I think you kind of jumped on the right one, and then you just missed it a little bit. That's perfectly fine, guys. Very, very good. Yeah, I think it helps when you can hear it in the drums, but we don't have to.
Lately, I've been turning all this paint into a crown. Like you can stretch, because all these fake people keep on bringing me down. Like, you know what I mean? Like stretch out the ends of it a little, give it a little attitude.
Yeah, you know, we're teaching these girls not only to become artists themselves, but collaborators, right? This camp really focuses on teaching girls not just their own instrument, but how to work together in a collective space, right? And especially in such a time crunch, which, you know, it's very parallel to how artists work in the industry, or at least here locally, right? Sometimes you got to get stuff, you know, ready on the spot, but there's also the skill of trusting in your craft, trusting in your voice, learning how to tap into it, to not just get something out in time, but to get something out that they feel comfortable and that they love playing, that they feel inspired to play. You know, we want them to enjoy and love their work of art, and also the process of doing that together. So that's really the to me the main value that they get out of the camp, and so it's an honor to be able to help facilitate that process for them.
Can you guys scooch in right here? Come forward just a little bit, not too much. Come forward just a little bit. Come forward just like one step. There we go, right there, right there, right there. Okay. And do you remember when I had you guys line up and you all like were in like together? So we're gonna do that. Serious faces. Let me fix your hair, Mama. There we go. Everybody's hair. You want your strands in the front or no? Yeah.
We've been fortunate to have a local El Paso named Mike Hernandez, who kind of runs the staffing and the production and their overall kind of blueprint of how we're going to get from A to B. And he's brought in different coaches and staff over the years. We have instrument instruction, and then we have a band coach. So each band gets a grown-up who comes from a musical background that can help them in their journey. Everything from inner band squabbling to getting the song together to making sure that the lyrics are okay, that the music makes sense. But the thing that I love the most, that he's found people that teach these girls how to use the ability they have to make something creative. So they're not trying to reach the top of Everest in 2 weeks. They're not trying to play as good as, you know, Joan Jett on guitar. They're making something from their ability, from their level. And with that comes this beautiful creativity that you would never imagine. We're not asking them to be somebody else. We're asking them to be them. And he's been really great about finding people that can guide them in a gentle but firm way. Like, we don't want them to embarrass themselves. We don't want them to get up on stage and be absolutely horrible so that they are embarrassed and they never want to play music again. We want them to be, you know, confident and like strong and advocate for themselves. So he's been really great in finding those. And we've had every year the pieces get closer together. And I think this year felt like we like landed on our feet. It was like the best year. It felt the most together, and every year you learn new things and you find new challenges, and I think Mike's been really great at guiding us through this. He's dedicated. So I think one of the things that has been a real benefit to me in my career is coming from this community, coming from sort of an outpost, sort of still a pioneer town, sort of still I always call it brackish water, right? We're just a bunch of cultures all meeting up and trying to figure out how to coexist. There's a lot of uniqueness to this city, to this community. There's a lot of boldness to this community, and there's kind of a do or die mentality that comes from being from this part of the world, I think. Most of our kids are on scholarship. We're not an affluent community, El Paso. We do ask our friends from around the world to send some money to help us do this. And we've been really fortunate in that. We've had some friends in bands that have sent donations to they believe in what we're doing. They believe that kids should have the spot to play music. I think the personality of this town is so unique, and it's so important. And this is one thing I tell the kids every year is I use this hashtag all the time, El Paso is important, because it's so critical to keep saying that to each other, right? Because it's so easy to feel insignificant in the world. And it's so easy to feel lesser than when you're from a city like this, when you don't have the MLB and the NHL and the whatever, and the giant factories and the corporate offices and the whatever. I think it's easy to feel less cultured or less important. And I think it's up to all of us to just remind each other that we are important. We're doing good work. We make great stuff. We go around the world and people care. But we got to tell these kids now, right? I don't want them to leave this city thinking that it's an embarrassment and they want to move somewhere and see what's really going on, right? Like we can do it here. Yeah, but we got to believe.
Camp is such a fun experience. I've been a veteran for 3 years, and it's just one of the best experiences ever. Like, you make so many new friends, you make your own band and write your original songs, and like the people I met along the way during this, they're so nice and they've helped me through a lot, and I'm still friends with them today.
It was very nice. I made a lot of friends, and it's a very nice place. And the teachers are extremely good at their job, and I wouldn't change it for the world that I got to be here. It's amazing.
Oh, well, this year was pretty fun. It was pretty different from last year. I really liked it because this year I got to play an instrument. I got to play an instrument that really, I feel like I like it a lot. And the classes they gave us before playing with our bands really taught us a lot of stuff.
When I first started, I was a little bit scared, but I didn't really talk to anybody until people started building conversation up, and then I started getting more fun with the group. So I started being more energetic and more hyper, speaking to random people that we haven't talked yet. And I feel like I really like this experience because I got more persuasive of music and how to create it on my own. And I feel like I would want to do it again because I'll get to build the next journey ahead in the next year.
I've been doing this camp for about 3 years now, and it has been amazing. Every year I make new forever friends. The first year I came was in 2024, and I still have all my friends from that year. And every year I feel like we just get better and better. this camp is genuinely a blessing to be in. I really enjoy learning guitar, and I really enjoy making new friends every year.
I played bass during this camp, and it was truly amazing because I learned a lot in the period of 2 weeks. It was really amazing. Jim's amazing, Christine's amazing. All the people in the camp are amazing. I love it.
We want to thank you guys for all of your support, for coming out. This does conclude our show for tonight. Parents, thank you for coming, supporting. I don't know if there's posters left, but please follow us on Instagram, URock El Paso. We will see you all next year. There are flyers going around. That way we can get ready for next year. There's also some barcodes around the venue. If you'd like to donate,
Awesome
all
job.
the money goes to our camp for next year. Parents, thank you again. We'll see you guys next year.